Welcome back to the truth about our 12-dimensional universe. In this video, we continue the story of our beautiful 12-dimensional universe. If you haven't already watched part 1 of this video, please watch that first part before carrying on with this video. You can find the link at the bottom of this video. If you have already seen the first part, then let's continue. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And also hit the bell button in the corner, so you are alerted as soon as new content is uploaded. The 5th and 6th dimensions. The 5th dimension is the home of the Ascended Masters. It is a very powerful frequency, compared to the 3rd dimension. Physicality is now an option, where a world of high-frequency energy becomes the primary way of life. The human body becomes far too constraining for a high-frequency being, who likes to constantly exert its energy and power. It therefore undergoes a substantial vibrational raising, until it completely detaches itself from the physical world. There are ethereal planets that house such fifth-dimensional existences, as they still need an ascending planet to give them ascension jumps into the next dimension. The planetary relationship with its inhabitants is a very crucial one that operates on many levels. One of the most important functions is to initiate a natural curve of shifting energies in a direct incline, or what is known as a jump. It would be very difficult for a planet's inhabitants to ascend without it following suit, and vice versa. Enough time is usually given for everybody to prepare themselves. Many ascended masters, who operate in this higher frequency, have to severely decrease their vibration, in order to make an appearance on Earth. This often warrants brief encounters, unless they choose to temporarily incarnate here. Sixth-dimensional existences welcome consciousness into a state where godlike powers are expressed. The 6th dimension is the highest point of individualization within the first universal cycle that still identifies and communicates with itself from all of its past lives. If I told you that you currently already exist in the 6th dimension as a higher self, you would probably be confused, because the concept of linear time has defined physical life itself. However, the notion of all the past, present, and future being one as a higher self is an important hierarchy that establishes a route for intuition to take place. Very few beings maintain a human-like appearance in the 6th dimension. Most resemble large masses of white energy, have animal-like characteristics, or completely manipulate the way they look, depending on what emotional experiences they would like to portray. 6th-dimensional beings often roam around lower vibrational planets in hopes of exerting influence upon them. This is done to sway entire populations into believing in significantly more powerful beings or gods. It is a 6th-dimensional teaching to sway the masses into their favor, to initiate a stronger hierarchy of power. The greater the number believing in them, the greater their powerful presence will be. Famous 6th-dimensional beings include Zeus, the Greek gods, and Thoth of ancient Egypt. This image encompasses the small 3rd-dimensional man, ascending into a powerful 5th-dimensional being, all under the orchestration of the 6th-dimensional higher self in the background. The 7th and 8th dimensions. The 7th dimension looks like a magnificent white tunnel of energy that explodes consciousness into a state of existence with the Creator. This large upward flow of energy removes the soul from creation itself and allows it to exist within a field of unconditional love. The 7th dimension acts as the last dimension most forms of consciousness will experience in their universal cycle. This limitless dimension appears as an endless field of white energy, where everything enjoys heightened ecstasy. Many beings have never progressed beyond this point, and therefore don't understand that there is a continuing path to further develop their consciousness. Those who continue onward have a very powerful destiny to become creators. Dimensions 8 to 12 would be considered advanced creator school, which is experienced by a much smaller percentage of beings. In order for consciousness to progress beyond the first 7 dimensions, it is initiated back into the creation in the 8th dimension, to take one of 2 paths. The masculine progression as a sun or star, or the feminine progression as a planet. The masculine progression uses the 8th dimension to keep propelling forward up to the 12th dimension, while the feminine progression moves backward out of the 8th dimension and into an alternate existence as a 7th dimensional planet. 7th dimensional beings choose to allow their bodies to evolve into planets, to act as a home for other dimensional existences, from dimensions 1 through 5. This is performed to create a stable environment and encourage the relevant self-realizations of other dimensional beings. It is important to establish the symbiotic relationship between all the dimensional beings on Earth and the soul of the planet itself, Gaia. Without Gaia, life would not exist. A thriving planet must have a 7th dimensional soul, in the same way a human body must have a 3rd dimensional soul. Without her inhabitants, Gaia would not have reason to create Earth, because her spiritual realizations involve sustaining other dimensional existences. In order to create a physical planet, Gaia needed to learn how to control the elements, earth, wind, fire, water, and then manipulate them into self-sustaining cycles. A 7th dimensional being undergoes 4 ascensions before reconnecting with the 7th dimensional tunnel of energy, back into the field of unconditional love. 2nd dimension to 3rd dimension. 3rd dimension to 4th dimension. 4th dimension to 5th dimension. And 5th dimension, into a pure energetic existence, capable of moving back into a state of unconditional love. We were created from the stars, and we shall return to the stars. 8th dimensional existence, within a masculine progression, is when consciousness takes the form of a sun. The sun in our solar system has a gravitational pull strong enough to revolve multiple 7th dimensional planets around, and therefore all manner of lower dimensional inhabitants living on those planets. Its primary function is to provide a stable solar system for lower dimensional beings to undergo their relevant self-realizations. The sun's light actually consists of multiple colors, with a visual predominance of white, even though it may look yellow from Earth, due to the blue atmospheric contrast. The sun is literally burning thoughts into the manifested creation, on such a powerful level, that it produces an extreme amount of light and heat. These thoughts are also referred to as the overriding archetypes that govern a solar system's precise rules of governance. The sun anchors the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious connects these overriding archetypes with the individual's subconscious mind, in such a way that we are born with set rules that determine the construct of the physical world. We feel the effects of gravity, because the overriding archetype subconsciously details how our bodies must abide by the law of gravity. The sun is creating and sustaining life, as the alpha being of this solar system. If you understand the inner workings of this concept, you can easily see why many ancient cultures, such as the Mayans, Egyptians, and Greeks, chose the sun as their supreme deity. 9th and 10th dimensions. The 9th dimension is entered by exploding your elements outward into a powerful ball of churning energy, as a supernova. The 9th dimension signals the first of 2 complete dimensional existences that sustain deconstructive cycles. A sun dies down into what is known as a red giant, after it runs out of hydrogen to convert into helium via nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is what generates heat for the sun. When the sun stops producing heat, it starts collapsing in on itself, until the helium atoms join with carbon atoms, expanding its outer layer, causing it to cool off, and eventually cast this outer layer off as a planetary nebula. This deconstruction phase allows for essential building blocks and the planetary nebula to be ejected out of the Sun into the surrounding galaxy. The planetary nebula is a product of deconstruction that has been recycled out of the Sun, and allows for new stars and planets to be created. Gravity continues to pull carbon atoms together, until the red giant's core is solely composed of iron. At this point, fusion ceases, and the iron atoms are crushed together, causing the red giant to explode out a shockwave and form a supernova. Another path occurs when a sun gradually dies down into a white dwarf and attracts another star into its orbit. Matter is gradually stripped off the smaller star, which causes enough volatility to then also explode into a supernova. The ninth dimension is about embracing the element of deconstruction. Thanks for watching The Truth About Our 12-Dimensional Universe. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And also hit the bell button in the corner, so you are alerted as soon as new content is uploaded. See you soon. Love and light, beautiful soul.